Hi everybody, I'm Valerie Durham, Executive Director of FreedomFest, and I'm super excited to be joined today with this year's big keynote speaker, which is Mike Rowe. Yes, big.
Enormous.
And we are welcoming him for the first time. Now, you are somebody who has been on our request list with our attendees for many years.
And you are somebody who has an organization that I've been really curious about for a long time, and I guess maybe either we got lucky or the universe aligned or something.
I love alignment.
Here we are, all aligned.
We're all about the soul of liberty. And I think one of the things that our attendees are really excited about is that you look at our society, our education system, our economy, different things with a really common sense attitude. And I was just hoping you could kind of talk to us a little bit about your work, your vision, some of the work you've done, and where you're going with MicroWorks and your different initiatives. That's about that, like
Sure.
your vision of what that's all about.
Well, you know, it's personal first and foremost, and I don't mean that I can't talk about it, but I mean it's micro as in MICRO. It's small, and you know, I never tried to put myself out into the zeitgeist as an arbiter of common sense. Although I'll take it. Thanks very much. I just got very lucky later in life to get a show on the air that allowed me in a completely unscripted way to interact with people who are just so unapologetically decent and regular.
Yeah.
You know, just folks, right? I mean, that's what Dirty Jobs was. It was a chance to spend a day with a person and be their apprentice, right? So with no scripts and no second takes, and none of the stuff that makes TV such a drag so often, all that stuff, for a long list of reasons, was just pushed aside. So what I had was a front row seat to a kind of philosophy course they don't teach in school.
Right.
And so it took a while, but over 10 years or so, I had just a steady diet of common sense, not just explained to me, but demonstrated for me by welders and steam fitters and pipe fitters and farmers and miners and bridge builders and so forth and so on. And so the cumulative effect of all of that was a kind of shorthand that I called lessons from the dirt. Right.
I love that.
And to this day, it's still very much of an ethos that informs a lot of what I do. It was the part of my education, I think, that ultimately was most valuable. It was hands-on. It was basically a giant field trip that got out of hand. And it was through that show, of course, that my foundation, MicroWorks, evolved back in 2008. We launched that on Labor Day. I can't believe we're 15 years old.
That's incredible.
But if you don't know, it's a modest endeavor. We shine a light on the kinds of jobs that we try to accentuate in Dirty Jobs. And pretty soon, I mean, I'm not a political animal, but the politics of the skills gap and the politics of student loan debt and the politics of good jobs versus bad jobs and higher education versus alternative education, all of that suddenly landed at my feet. And so we've awarded $7 or $8 million in work ethic scholarships since we started. And I guess to answer your question, that's why I'm here, because they're cameras and they're people who I suspect are very like-minded in a lot of ways. And while I'm not an evangelical, I am on a mission to do what I can to show people where the opportunities are today. And obviously there's a ton of opportunity here.
What I think is so exciting about that is that the people who are coming here really believe in a true free market system that values work that happens at all levels, and how there's such a mosaic that we can't all be lawyers, we can't all be doctors, we need those people, but we also need every echelon and every type of job. And it's really, as Liz Lerman, the modern dancer would say, hiking the horizontal. There's not a hierarchy of work, there is great work, and that's how we come and collaborate and cooperate together as human beings.
I love the mosaic analogy. I sometimes talk about it in terms of tile and grout.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even on some of these walls, you can see it. You know, a brick wall will have mortar between the bricks, and the brick gets all the glamour, right? it's a brick wall. It's not a mortar wall. But take
true.
the mortar away, and it's a pile of bricks, right? It's
pile of rubble.
It's not a wall at all. And so, yeah, Dirty Jobs was very much of a mosaic. Even though we stayed more or less in the hands-on world, you got a real sense that it was a wide world of work and an endlessly varied group of workers. And it's such a trap we set for ourselves when we talk about blue collar versus white collar. Nobody cares about the color of collars, right? What we care about is dignity in work, and we care about moving the needle and seeing our efforts bear fruit.
And take care of our families and live our dreams. And
it's basic. It's primal.
It is.
Actually.
We're built with that instinct to survive and provide. Well, we're here in Memphis, and Memphis, Tennessee. And there's some great songs about Tennessee, walking on Beale Street, walking to Memphis, coming to Graceland, and Tennessee whiskey. And that's another thing that we're really excited about, that we're here in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah. And you also have launched this really incredible product called Noble Tennessee Whiskey.
Yep.
Not spelled the way you would think.
No.
Necessarily in hearing it. And I wanted you to tell me a little bit about the backstory of coming up with this and where Noble Tennessee Whiskey is going for you.
It just seems like we should have a bottle right here with a couple of glasses.
True.
I'm like, who's in charge of this thing?
Photoshop that in.
Yeah, how hard could that be? It's look, most every good thing that's happened to me over the last 20 years has been a Forrest Gumpian kind of thing, right? And this is no different. Carl Noble, Knobel, was my granddad. He was the inspiration for Dirty Jobs and the foundation I run today. He only had girls, and when he died, his name kind of died with him. There's just no other Nobles out there. So we brought Dirty Jobs back during the lockdowns, and to sort of celebrate it, I had a friend that had some 5-year-old extraordinary Tennessee whiskey in the barrel. It became available. Long story short, I tasted it, I loved it, I named it after my pop, and we sold it online as a fundraiser for MicroWorks. We raised a bunch of money, but people also really liked it. And suddenly, I'm like in the whiskey business, and which is a whiskey business, believe me.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but it tastes great, and it continues to be a good fundraiser. And so I've been learning as best I can. Like what the world really needs, Valerie, is another B-list celebrity with some bourbon. That's what the world needs.
I'm looking forward to trying it. We're going to feature it tonight and throughout the entire conference. And I've been hearing good things, and I'm excited to try it.
It's so nice of you guys to do it.
Yeah.
Am I underdressed for this thing, by the way?
No, not at all.
Would you tell me?
You're Mike Rowe. You can do whatever you want. The big Mike Rowe.
The enormous Mike Rowe.
Well, Mike, you're going to be on our main stage tomorrow. Actually, my dad is going to interview you. He's really looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
He's got some exciting questions and
Does
things
he?
for you. You're going to have an awesome time.
Is he going to share them with me, or is he just going to ambush me right there?
That's coming up next, questions for Mike Rowe. Thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
You bet.